Hi everybody, welcome back to DayZ, and in this video I'm going to be telling you all about my DayZ update 1.24 compatible Livonia boosted loot server files for your community server for PlayStation, PC or Xbox community servers. And if you weren't aware of them already, what I do is for every update I create a boosted loot Chernarus, boosted loot Livonia and a survival server, and these are all on my GitHub repository. Now I'm recording this video on the 5th of February 2024 before update 1.24 has gone live, and you may well watch it before update 1.24 has gone live, but so obviously you're not going to use it before then. Now if you're familiar with these files and have used them already, in the description below this video you'll see the links to my GitHub repository where you simply need to hit the code button, download the zip, and you'll also see a link to my mega files repository. And I have two just in case one of them stops working, and you can download the files and they work in the normal way. So for people who aren't aware of what they do and how to install them, I'll talk a little bit about what they do and then how to install them on a console server, and a little bit on how you install them on a PC server. So what do they do? Well, what I wanted to do many moons ago was create an easier experience on Chernarus and then with these files on Livonia in DayZ for PlayStation, PC and Xbox. And I wanted to do it so that food and drink was easier to find, and there would be a lot more building materials. Vehicles would spawn in complete. All you'd have to do is take the fuel in the fuel can out of the back, fuel it up, find some water if the vehicle needed it, fill the fuel can with water, pour it into the radiator, and then you'd have a working vehicle. Guns would spawn in with magazines and scopes and suppressors most of the time. And generally things spawn in pristine, or not much spawns in ruined. And it just means that the experience you have is like a beginner's version of DayZ. So it's much easier to survive than it is on a public server or a community server that doesn't have boosted loot. And really, although you start off with the same gear, I haven't changed that at all. When you start looting, you'll find things much easier. And again, if you find a vehicle, most of the vehicles you find will be complete and will have stuff in the boot as well. So some of them have fishing gear, some of them have hunting gear, some of them have farming gear, some of the trucks are full of building gear, all that sort of stuff. There's also like a truck that you could use as a trader's truck at Novi Sabor that's full of weapons, and there's a party truck that's up at the ski resort that's got fireworks and all that sort of stuff in. Now if you read the README, it kind of explains everything that's in it, and it also tells you how to install them because they are incredibly easy to install. So to get the files, go over to my GitHub repository and just click on the code, download the zip, download that to your local computer and extract it. Mega is a similar sort of thing. You can then go in and you can download all the files. And then what you need to do is you go over to your web server. So let's close that one down. So it's Livonia, so go over to the web interface. And what you want to make sure is before you get started that DayZ 1.24 is on your server. So in the version number you'll be looking for 1.24 there. If it's not there, 1.24 hasn't started yet, and so you shouldn't use these files. Once that has been updated to 1.24 on console, what you can do is if you go to your general settings on your Nitrado server and you scroll down and you tick on reset mission XML to default and save and restart, what that will do is that will import all of the vanilla 1.24 files onto your server. Now remember, by doing this you'll be deleting any edited files you had before. So if you had any types.xml or events.xmls or anything like that was edited, that will be gone and it'll be replaced by vanilla ones. But that's the base you need for these files. So once you've done that and you've restarted the server and you've unticked it and then click on save changes, what you want to then do is go into your file browser, and then you'll want to go into XB missions, and then you want to go into Enoch because that's the Livonia server. And then if we look at the files that you get, you'll see you get CFG gameplay.json, CFG spawnable types, events, globals, messages and types. The readme is just the instructions, they don't need uploading. So the first two, CFG gameplay and CFG spawnable types, you put in the root mission folder, which is this one here. A all you do is you scroll down to the bottom, click upload file, and upload those 2 files on top of the existing ones. Then you go into the DB directory, which you can see here, and you hit upload, and in that one you upload the events, globals, messages, and types, and they will upload over the top of the existing files. Then all you do is click restart, and you're good to go. Depending on how old the server is and how long it's been running, you will have old loot on there that will take a while to cycle out and cycle in the new stuff. So a good example of that would be vehicles. If you've had vehicles spawning in that weren't complete before this, they will still be there on the server for whatever their lifetime is, and they will then disappear eventually, and they'll be replaced by the new ones. If people keep interacting with them, they won't disappear. In that case, you can go around and you could ruin them if you wanted to, shoot into the engine or run them without any oil in, or out any water in, and that will ruin them that way. Or you could do a soft reset. But the best thing is just let them cycle through naturally, and then the new pristine and the new complete stuff will start to cycle through. Now for PC, it's a little bit different. What you can do is you could do a complete server reinstall on PC, but remember that will blank everything, because unfortunately on PC, on Nitrado anyway, you don't have in your settings the ability to reset the XML's default. You need to load the 1.24 XML yourself, and you can either get them, if you're watching this video after 1.24 has come out, you can get them from Bohemia Interactive's official GitHub repository, which would be there, and I'll put a link to this in the description below the video. If you're trying to do this before 1.24 goes live, or around about the time it goes live, and so this hasn't been updated yet, what you need to do is, if you go into your Steam library and select Games and Tools, and if you install the DayZ experimental server, what that will give you is in the folder where DayZ is, so in normally something like C, Program Files, x86, Steam Apps Common, you'll find DayZ Server Experimental. And if you go into the MP missions, you'll find DayZ and there you have the 1.24 experimental files, which will probably be the same as the public files. There has been a couple of updates to the experimental files already, so they should be good to go. And you would upload these probably via FTP, probably the easiest way to do it. And once they're in place, you would then upload my files on the top of these, restart the server, and then the process would start. So there we go, DayZ update 1.24. The new things are really only the new helmets and the new Vickers rifle. But there is a little bit of change to the way that guns can now spawn. If they don't have a magazine, they can spawn them with bullets in them. So you can have a shotgun that's got like some bullets in already, or something like an SKS, or even the Vickers. If it doesn't have a magazine, it may well have a bullet in the chamber, so you can at least fire it off once. But hopefully you find these files useful. If you do, please let me know in the comments down below. You know, if you use this file on your Livonia server, say, yeah, I used it and we had fun with it and it was good. And obviously, if you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.